Boom! You found us. Or maybe we found you. That's the question. But in any case, you're here, and this is the Happy No Fear podcast. I'm your host, Chase, and we're in Los Angeles in my studio. So, what this series is all about is inviting friends and creatives into my studio, having a chat, having a laugh, talking about the ups, the downs, the struggles of life in the arts, and also the successes. How do we get there? What do we do? What's it like? So that's what this is. This was my very first podcast ever. I've never been on a podcast. We never rehearsed one. So you'll notice I'm a little bit nervous and finding my way. You know, I don't really know how to do any of this stuff, but hopefully I'll get better. That's my intention, and hopefully you'll be there with us along the ride, and we'll have a good time. It'll be interesting no matter what. So on this very first episode, my partner in this series is Sean McDonald, aka Mole Man, and every once in a while he's going to jump in as a co voice on some of these podcasts, and that should be fun. He's on this one, obviously, to smooth everything out a little bit more. We got into it deep with our first guest, and her name is Caratoes, a beautiful young woman who's been traveling the world for the last couple of years now, making amazing works of art in cities pretty much everywhere. She was born and raised in Belgium, found her passion for the arts, and is just an overall cool, beautiful person. And I think you're going to see that after listening to this as well. So without further ado, I introduce to you Caratoes.
He's nervous.
I am a little nervous. I've never done a podcast before, ever.
Yeah.
You have more experience than I do, actually, at this
Yeah,
point
well,
in
I
time.
mean, you know, like just some questions, and then I can like answer them, and then I'll tell you
Exactly. Yeah.
whatever you ask me.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
So, that's our guest today. The co-pilot is Mr. Molzart, aka Mole Man, aka Sean.
Hello.
There
everybody.
he is.
Out there in radio world.
Radio.
I like to
World.
take 13 minutes of this show to talk about me.
Let's do that. So, how do you feel today, Mole Man?
You know what? I feel really good, actually. You know what I mean? I'm I'm good. It's all about you.
Hey, man, I'm just trying to spotlight. I'm just like giving you some love, man.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. That's moleman.com.
Is there a website?
Nah, there used to be. Now there's just...
Now it's just moleman.geocities.org.
It's
That's still active?
It's like urban folklore now. It's like tales, urban folk tales.
It's part of the local history.
Yeah, 7 people know about me. 7.
8 now.
Big in Riverside.
I'm new.
That was 7.
You got me already.
Yeah. But okay, all right. Let's keep that going.
So yeah, we met just recently. I heard you on another podcast, and I was listening. I'm like, yeah, I know Caratoes. I've seen the name. I've seen the work pop up over the years. And then all of a sudden, you started talking about it. I'm from Belgium, and I'm like, wait, what is this? How come I don't know this person? You know, because I still have my roots in Belgium to a certain degree, as far as everyone. But I guess you started painting outside of Belgium.
Yeah, I was never doing anything creative in Belgium. Like that's why I was like, I was living in Ghent for like 5 years, and I've seen you.
Yeah.
Right?
He's been there. Mo's been there.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, sick.
I like it there.
Well, yeah. So like, then you've seen his work around.
I didn't really see it there. No, yeah, I saw
Well, yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. So like, I saw your work when I was like a student in Ghent, and I saw, you know, Roa's work, and who else do you have? Buddha Warrior.
Yeah, Bouet. Yeah.
Yes,
Bouet.
yeah,
Shouts to Bouet.
yeah. Shout out to Bouet. I don't know you, but hey.
You'll know him soon enough.
That's the homie.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I wasn't doing anything like paint wise or anything. So, but I really appreciate it. I saw the work around, and I was like, that's cool, man. Like, one day I would love to do this kind of shit, but I just was never around creative people. I was like, at the point I was studying to become a biochemist.
Right.
Biochemist, biotechnology, because I want to understand how DNA works. and things like that.
How does it work? No, I'm just-
Just a lot of patience.
Okay.
a
If you
lot
can
of
sum it up
patience.
with one word, sperm.
Carbon, right?
DNA, man, it's all we're all pre-programmed in our DNA.
Yeah.
Yeah, like or just like the way we're born, like how we look, like how we are,
Like
our
even
character.
our,
Yeah,
like-
so
it's
that's
all
an
in our
interesting.
DNA.
Since we're like touching on that subject, it's very interesting because that kind of bumps up against the idea of free will, right?
Yeah.
So do you feel like that there's something really predetermined beyond just the physical attributes and characteristics of our physical selves?
I kind of believe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Like they did those researches where you have like identical twins and you split them up and like raise them in different families and environments, and then they
I
like
heard about that.
yeah, and then they like see how they are nowadays. Like they would get close to like they will name their car the same name.
No
They will
way.
marry the same kind of looking woman with the same name. They would like like do the same job. It goes really far. Like that says so much
And these are
about
twins
how we
that
are.
at birth,
They're
for s-
identical
through some
twins.
circumstance, they were
No.
split up.
Not by some circumstances. This is for scientific research.
Really?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
some mother said, "Yeah, take my twins," and
no,
let's-
like they don't know.
Do me a favor, Chase.
yeah.
Sorry to cut you off. OJ, can you face or turn to an angle where this
Oh,
is
okay.
facing you?
So this
it's
needs to
not-
be right in front,
So it's not off axis.
like this.
So let's say you're facing her.
Then I gotta kind of turn this way.
That's a real combo.
Yeah. Hop.
You have to like literally be in front.
Okay. So
Don't worry, I'm gonna edit this part out.
I have a feeling you will. Just make it lower here, and then I'll just sit this way and like look at her, And this thing is important. This shield, no, it's
Just to catch your spit.
no. We can play ping pong in a minute.
I'm very good at ping pong. I'm Chinese. Just kidding.
You can get away with that. Jim.
Yeah, I can. You look like you would be good at basketball.
There we go. That's good.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like your proximity effect has to be straight.
Yeah.
We'll work it out. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
And we're back. There we go.
Yeah, so like I was studying in Belgium and doing biochemistry, and then later I switched to study game design. But in my head I was like, dude, I hope I'm gonna like, meet someone who would like teach me how to do graffiti or that kind of stuff. But I just never bumped into that.
Yeah, that was
anyone.
always there. But were you drawing already or something? Or doodling?
Yeah, I was always doodling.
Yeah.
I've been doodling like my whole life. But the thing is, like, I always thought that drawing, that everybody could do that. That
Right.
I actually thought I was really shit at it. I
Right.
was like really embarrassed for my drawings. I would like hide them because in my head, I'm like, just thought I was really bad at it. Until one day in university, we had this like class called zoology, where you just
Zoology,
like,
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
zoology, where you just like study animals and how they're like,
Right.
and then you have to like draw them. You cut them open and you have to like draw their intestines and like, like name all the parts. And I was like looking next to me, and this girl, like, she tried to draw that fish, but it looked so shitty. I just like, what the fuck?
And you're like, I can do that better.
Look, I just laughed like nonstop because I just couldn't believe that she was that bad. And then that's when it hit me that not everybody could draw.
Yeah.
Because in my head, like, because it's so natural to me, I don't know what is not natural to other people. I assume that everything I can do, anyone else can do.
I can't draw a circle or a straight line.
Like, I did not know that. I thought like everybody could do this, you know?
Yeah. Everyone kind of can if they really push it. Like there's naturals, I guess, and then there's people that have to train at it or something and work really hard. But you had the innate ability, and it was just in you, and that was coming out.
But I just took it as for granted, I guess. I never
Right.
thought it was like, I never thought I was especially good at drawing than anybody else.
Right.
I thought it was just like, like whatever.
Check.
Right. Yeah, it's like a magical thing, right? When you all of a sudden you realize that, hey, I have a certain ability, and I can turn things, I can manifest things out of nothing, almost a piece of paper and a pen. All of a sudden there's something there, and people seem to like it. Was that the notion already?
At that point, not really, because it was just for scientific researches that I'm making those drawings.
Right. Yeah.
But then, yeah, like, I realized that I'm not meant to be in a laboratory every day.
Right.
Like if I wear glasses and I see a hot dude, like, and I get blushes, like my glasses damp up. I'm like, I can't do this. Like that's what I knew. Like this is not for me.
You need little windshield wipers on the glasses. Ooh.
Yeah, like literally that happens. I was like, no.
You base your whole career on a guy.
Hey, I just live for you guys, man.
I guess it's the same for men.
I've been doing it my whole life.
Just kidding.
So that was then where you were, but you never like went on the street. You never. That only happened when you moved to Hong Kong to like sort of like follow your roots there and to understand your family life better. I think was the reason why you ended up there, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you're like let's not touch on that.
No, we can totally touch on that.
Which I think is super beautiful because life in Zottegem, outside again, it wasn't that easy actually for you.
Well, yeah, it's a really small town, and we were the only people with different skin color.
Right.
So, and like because my family is really strict, like Chinese, like it was a major mindfuck for me growing up because I didn't know who I identify with.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I'm like in school, like I feel like I should be white because everyone around me is white.
Yeah.
You know, and then when I'm at home, like my parents, they would push me to be like, you're not allowed to you're only allowed to speak Chinese in this house. Like you should be like a good Chinese person. Like we weren't allowed to go out and play with other kids because they were scared that would affect us and take our,
You were the only Chinese family.
Yeah.
So you didn't really have like other Chinese people to identify with outside of your family.
Well, I mean, they were not living in our town. We'd have to go outside of it. But because my family was so strict, they kind of made me resent being Chinese. You know?
Really?
Yeah, of course, man. I'm because they had all these rules for me, and they would make me feel ashamed for liking white people stuff. That kind of thing. They were it was like a real mind fuck.
I think that's through a lot of cultures.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, but so that's why I studied biochemistry and then graduated as a game designer, and then I was moved to Amsterdam because in my head Belgium is too small.
Yeah, and it is.
Yeah, I was looking around for companies I could see as a challenge that I would like to work for, but I'm like, nothing in Belgium sounded challenging for me. And for me, I'm like, I like to push things to the limit.
Yeah.
And also because I was caged for so long growing up, I was like, okay, once I get freedom, I'm going to get the fuck out of here. And then just, anything goes.
Yeah. And the feeling must have been I got the degree, I pleased my parents.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's
I don't have to prove
off.
nothing. Yeah.
And now I'm an adult, so I'm going to make some moves and find my own life, my own
path. Well, I was still, I was still trying to please them. I was still trying to look for a stable job, and also if you come fresh out of school, you just worry. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna find a job, and I found a job in Amsterdam working for a post-production company.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, I was doing a special effects and 3D stuff for
VFX and
all that kind of stuff.
So that was creative.
Yeah, it is creative. Except that it's, just all behind a computer.
Right.
And it's a lot of technical stuff. It's more technical than
stiff creation.
Yeah, it's more technical than the creative part is pretty short, I feel.
Right. Renders.
Renders. Oh
man.
My God.
Those are the worst. I remember some of that.
Yeah.
Here and there.
Wait, to not to cut you off, but to touch back on you growing up in Ghent.
Right. In Zottegem.
Which is a small village outside
that's the thing. That's
again.
why I like that he's from Belgium, because he knows how small that place is.
Mo.
People in Belgium don't know that place. It's so small.
Mo, it's literally, there's one little street in the middle. I can imagine because I've actually never been there, but it's a stop off the train,
Nobody goes there.
It's
so
one
small.
street, a few restaurants, a little church, and then farms and
I live right next to that church, that one church.
Bananas.
That Chinese restaurant was mine.
So
no, I was gonna say you studied. What did you study in university?
Biochemistry, biotechnology.
And that's something that you wanted to pursue. Or is it more like a family thing?
I wanted to do that, but it's also partially to please my parents.
Right.
And also, I mean, for me, I was interested in how we are made as human beings.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I like to understand things, and I think it's really important in order to understand things to know,
You have to like know it on a cellular level, like how
yeah,
everything
yeah,
works.
yeah.
It
Like,
breaks down.
what is different between me and this tree or this, like just things in general. How are things made? How is it like? But the thing that I was interested in the most was deformations, mutants. Like I had a big obsession for
Like mutations, like when someone is
Is that-
born with like
Yeah, like
12
how-
fingers.
how-
like
are we
X, Y,
different?
like
How
the
are-
chromosomes, right? When they
Yeah.
get mixed up, or you
Well,
have extra ones.
just in general, I was really obsessed with albinos and like Siamese twins and how to like grow like ears on mice and things like that. That makes me wonder, and also because I felt so different, I want to understand why am I so different. Like it's more of like a whole like search, like I don't know.
No, yeah, it's more like personal too.
Yeah,
Kinda like you wanna-
yeah,
Through
yeah.
that, you
I feel
thought you'd be
so.
able to understand.
Right, but
Yeah.
Life.
that's an interesting notion because why am I so different? But you are not different at all. It was just that
I felt
that
really
particular
different. It was-
country
yeah, it made
is
me feel
white.
really
So then
different.
that's the strange thing with like this whiteness thing.
Yeah,
I mean, there's a parallel with that with African Americans.
Yeah.
Right.
In America.
But what made
you know?
what made white the standard to begin with? You know,
you guys fucking made
called-
it a standard,
It's
man.
called colonization.
Yeah, it's called colonization.
no, that I
man.
know. But you see
Screw
how
yourself.
that notion even
Hey, fuck you.
You want to go
Nah,
there?
nah.
You want to go there?
No, but I'm saying
Let's go there.
I'm saying, how strange of a notion is it that I am so different, but you are perfectly fine the way you are.
Well,
But
that's
the-
not
but-
what you guys told me fucking when back in Belgium.
Well, I wasn't there. I wasn't the person. But I can see how that's the case, and I think that's too bad that
yeah,
that
like
happens.
imagine
even,
if you grew up
that you feel
everywhere you
excluded.
look,
Of course.
like everything is white. You look at advertising, everyone is
Right.
white. Everything that's pretty is white
Yeah.
in that time.
That's
you know?
actually that's a systematic thing.
That's some
Yeah,
deep
and
shit.
then like you look in the mirror and you look completely different. Like I speak a completely different language that I'm at that point I was so embarrassed for because I just wanted to fit in
I can understand how that. Like,
at that point.
At that point,
Not
of
anymore,
course,
at
when
that
you're
point.
young,
Yeah,
and
when
you're
you're
trying
a
to
kid,
discover
yeah.
yourself, and
Like
you're
who
only,
are you?
You're only like attaching and adapting to your environment.
Yeah,
That's what you do first.
Yeah,
Everyone
yeah,
is first,
yeah.
and then you go out into the world and you realize we're all fucked.
Yeah.
Like, we all feel the same.
Shit, does that make you feel better to know that we're all fucked?
You know what? It actually kind of does. It's like knowing that you're not the only one on this island. There's something about that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So yeah, no, I just thought that was interesting that it prompted you to go into biochemistry to uncover like why am I so different and what are mutations and the connotation of that is like it's like this negative feeling that you want to like turn into a positive by understanding it.
Yeah.
And-
Well,
and-
there's multiple reasons. It's also like to understand like the code. I'm interested in like how to like I understand that you need to understand the thing first before you can change it or play with it.
Right.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that attitude.
Yeah, it's the same. It's same with game design. I learned to code from scratch and create like
amazing.
imaginary worlds.
And how similar is game coding in comparison to like the genetic code and the breakdown
Well,
of the
like obviously, like they're different, but they're also similar because the code gives you limits
Mhm.
to what you can be and what you can do, but you
Mhm.
have to be the person who writes it. Be like like for example, you need to like put restrictions. You need to like if this is black, then they should turn white
Mhm.
and this kind of thing. It's just like
Metadata.
yeah, metadata. So basically, in our DNA, it's the same. Like we all have like lines of code that tell the body how we should grow and where we should grow.
Like a network system.
Yeah. Like I
Knows
don't
how
know.
to
It's
regulate
fascinating
itself.
stuff.
I think it's amazing.
And now that we can go in there with like editing programs like Scripter and things and adjust codes and pretty soon, we can turn off the fat gene and that will
Yeah.
become optional and
Yeah.
all that's so bizarre to me. It's
well, I mean,
We're starting now.
yeah,
As far as like plastic surgery, that's sculpting genes. It's
or
not programming, but it's
Yeah.
like
it's not.
you
Yeah.
can get yourself a new nose. blue
Get
eyes.
yourself-
But they're
a
not
new
grown
nose,
though.
yeah.
That's not grown though. Like
That's not
they're
grown.
doing this stuff for babies though. They want to like be able to like check the baby's DNA and then you can like kind of
Oh, yeah, I
like
mean, that's what-
choose how they
That's what Hitler and
eliminate
all of them were
diseases and
doing.
stuff.
They were trying to like through epigenetics.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Or
Oh,
eugenics, yeah.
it's been a while.
Eugenics were
Eugenics, yeah.
Been a
they were
long
they were
time.
trying to like birth blonde hair, blue eyed babies.
Yeah.
yeah.
But so basically after that, after post-production, I worked for advertising for a bit. And that's when I realized that, I was living a very safe life. Like my whole life, I've been kind of like trying to like do what my parents, like just follow the path that society tells you to walk, like go to school, get a degree, get a full-time job. And like I had this really sick ass job.
Right, the formula.
Yeah. And then but I still didn't feel like satisfied.
Right.
I felt like there must be more. And I also felt that my environment was having too much influence in me. And I didn't know who I really was. And I thought it was really like important for me to find out because I was like 24 and I was like, having the best job ever. And I'm like, okay, I need to like make a mistake.
Yeah.
Because I've never made a mistake because I was always scared to make mistakes because I would get slapped. So I'm like, okay, what should I do? And then I saved up some money and then I was like thinking with this money I can or travel the world or buy a 3D printer and start like a company in Amsterdam, or I can go to one place and live there for 4 months until I don't have money anymore and just live there and just feel it out. And I went for option 3. And then when I was like thinking about places to like move, I was like, there's a lot of places that I kind of love, but there's only one place that I really hate. And that's Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Because like the way that I was raised made me despise
you already had like
my roots, which is Hong Kong.
Resentment.
Yeah.
That's same like, I don't even know if I'm gonna go to Africa.
Yeah, so that's why I'm
Real
like, I don't know. For me, I'm like, whatever I hate, I feel like I will learn so much more from that than chasing something that I love, I guess.
If there's that much resistance, that's exactly, there's some action there. I don't know what it is. And there's something for me to learn there.
Yeah, like my hate was bigger than anything that I loved. So I moved there and...
To Hong Kong?
Yeah, I moved there to Hong Kong and I didn't know anyone. I never lived there. And I quit my job. And I didn't coming from a place where I had like a really stable job and a really good like steady friend group, going to a place where I don't know anyone and I didn't have anything to do. I was like, what the fuck?
You literally moved there and you didn't have any friends there, maybe some family members or something?
No. I just like moved there.
Wow.
With I convinced my boyfriend at the time to move with me, but he came from an even smaller village actually.
Wow.
Like his village only had like 200 people.
What village is that?
Alkmaar.
Alkmaar,
it's in Netherlands. Yeah.
Wow, that's even smaller,
it's
man.
It's really fucking
There's
small.
no running water in Alkmaar.
I think that's always like when I met Chase, just like I always envy people that just got up and moved. You know what I mean? Like, because we're taught to either live in the comfortable or the uncomfortable. Some of us thrive in uncomfortable, and some of us just want the safe box. Like,
well, I had the safe box.
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But I envy people that even though they have the safe box, they challenge themselves to venture off and go, what if?
But
because that's bravery. Because a lot of people don't. They just fucking they turn 60 going to the same job, wondering what would have happened if they became a rapper or a dancer or a traveler.
It's a weird thing because especially in these social democracies like Belgium, Holland, whatever, it's life there when you live there and you have a job, right, as an employee of a company or something, and you make a good living. It's very cushy. You get all these benefits, medical, dental. In Belgium, we have the 13th month. It's your Christmas payday is a double check type of stuff. Everyone owns a car. Has 4 to 6 weeks of paid vacation. I think it is.
Free university.
Free university.
No,
free
500 euros. 500 euros
or
for
whatever.
anything. For
okay,
anything.
What's that like? $1,000?
You know what I mean?
A little less. It's like 500 euros.
It's nothing.
So it's like maybe $500.
You're taken care of, and obviously the taxes are higher, but the quality of life is incredible. So for you to do that, young Cara, to move to Hong Kong on this adventure that maybe you didn't really figure out, but on this feeling, right, is quite incredible because life was good as it was.
Yeah, it was good on paper, but I just felt like there must be more.
Sure, yeah.
Like, I was like looking around my company and I was like thinking, who would I want to be in? Like, do I want to be this person? All those people that are like on the highest, or bosses, whatever. I'm like, I don't think that would make me happy.
That's how I look at it.
That's what I'm like, okay, I need to make a decision. And I also, besides that, I really wanted to know who I am. I really want to know what I'm good at. Because I felt like I must be good at something, but I just don't know yet what.
I totally relate to that. Like I tell my sister, you know, we're taught, it's like 2 books in life, right?
Yeah.
There's this written book that you're taught to read and you're filled with that shit. And then there's this blank book that you should put information in. And some people are just like, well, if you follow this story, this is how it ends.
Yeah.
But if you're brave enough to open that blank book and go, I'm going to do what I want, not what I was told who I am, what I should be afraid of Hong Kong, I should be afraid of this, I should be a biochemist, I want to be an artist, I want to be a mother, I want to be a father. And it's all about writing your own chapters. And I think people get to a point where it's like, you get tired of reading that same book, 1 through 12. You know what it looks like.
Yeah.
Chapter 10 is college. Yeah. Chapter 11 is marriage.
Yeah.
Chapter 12 is taxes.
It's the path.
And then
it's
the death is the final chapter.
Yeah.
I'm going to write my book has
not
4
only
pages.
That.
4 pages.
Tell us the 4 pages, young man.
But it's also like I have like 3 other siblings, and we're all like raised exactly the same way. And at home, we're called by numbers. They don't call us by our names. So I'm number 2.
That's deep.
So because like I'm not actually, they don't call me by my name. I don't never really felt like I'm a person. I'm just part of a 4. So that's why like in my mind, I know that if them 3, and they will like, you know, they have as well. They followed all the rules that my parents taught them. And as a kid in my bed, I remember I was like very like aware of this and thinking, okay, what if I would do something different? Because like I know my parents, they come from nothing. You know, they're like illegal immigrants from Hong Kong going to Belgium. They don't have any education. They have nothing. And then like they're trying to like do their best to raise us with all the rules that they know. And they're so strict. But
did you understand that? Or did you
at that point, I resented it, of course. But I was also, because like everything I tried to like be the perfect kid, but they would always, you know, not be happy with me. So I'm like, okay, I guess if they 3 will do it perfectly the way they say, I can be the wild card. I didn't care for myself as me.
They got their bases covered with the other ones.
If I would fail, if I would die, it's fine. They still have 3 other ones. They still have 1, 3, and 4. 2 is fine. You know, like me number 2, because I'm number 2. Like it's okay. It's a game of chance. I saw it as like a whole generational thing. Like my whole ancestors that I'm like, you know, just one of 4 chances to like prove something and what we can do, what we are capable of in our genetics.
Yeah, to be called a number rather than a name, that must have like felt weird growing up.
It's really normal.
Or it was just like the way you knew it.
It's really normal in our culture.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's like honestly, like
it's not like with full dehumanization that it's said. It's just like a thing that happens traditionally or something.
Yeah.
Or is there a little bit like, don't forget, you know, we produced you guys, so you should really try for us. Is that the subtext?
Yeah, of course. Like that's why they're so strict, because like if we would be fuck ups, then it's gonna go on them.
Right.
Like the other Chinese society will judge them for like raising us badly.
Right.
So like that's why we had to represent our family. It's always been about like represent our family as good as you can. So just follow all these rules and everything will be fine.
What's their feeling now? Do they understand what kind of crazy life you have now?
Oh, of course they don't.
They
don't. But like the thing is like, since I don't really, like growing up, I don't really know my parents as people, because it was only for practical stuff. You know, like I just had to get good grades and all that stuff, and that's kind of it. But then when I moved to Hong Kong, it was mainly also to like understand where they come from.
Yeah,
I want to understand where they grew up to make them, you know, set up all these rules and like with that understand where I come from, because they taught me everything. So I don't know. But
you do understand if you didn't take that chance, you would have just probably perpetuated the same thing.
And I don't want that. I don't want to like keep on making the same mistakes. I want to understand everything in order not to make the same mistakes. Like for me as well, like I knew that everything that I knew at that point when I moved to Hong Kong is taught and brainwashed by them. And I also know that at some point when I was born, I was pure. I know who I was when I was born. But society, and especially my parents, they taught me how to be a specific way, and I was trying to de-brainwash myself. Right. So with that, like going to Hong Kong, seeing where they come from, is to know like, okay, all that, if that's me, that's taught. That part is taught. That's not really me.
Like racism.
Like racism?
Racism is taught.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of stuff that we
Hate
do.
is taught.
Yeah,
And I think we're all like you. I agree with you. I think we're all born with everything we need.
Yeah.
But then
We're
life
born knowing who
just
we are.
kind of like distracts us and takes us away, and we get programmed to learn at a really young
Yeah.
age. And then we spend the rest of our lives trying to get back to being babies again. Of like,
Yeah.
I just want to love. I just want to.
Yeah.
It's like we've always had it. It's just some of us don't know that it was there because we weren't introduced to it.
Shame, man. Like in Asian cultures, shame is a really big thing. We get taught so much shame to be ashamed for ourselves, for like speaking up, for like having our own ideas. Like they always shame us. Yeah, they shame us to feel bad.
A lot of cultures are like that.
Yeah,
You take
like
a black culture where
so nasty.
you was considered 2/3 of a human being.
Yeah.
If that much even. Yeah.
Like, but that's society that projected that.
Yeah.
I was born a whole person. I know that.
We're all born a whole person.
But here's the problem. Society teaches us that, but our first lessons come from home, right?
Exactly.
And if we're taught wrong lessons there, it's just going to spill out until we rediscover through whatever means, whether it's art, whether it's fucking religion, whatever you do that brings you back to you wanting to like find yourself.
Yeah.
It all starts at home. Like, whether like I grew up in a house with alcoholic, drug abusive parents, that was my introduction to society.
Yeah.
Versus
you think that's normal for you. That's normal for you.
I thought that was normal
Yeah,
for the longest
exactly.
time. Where if you see like violence or hate, or if you live in a fucked up neighborhood, you think that's normal. Like PTSD, that shit is normal.
Yeah.
Where somebody is like, I can't believe that's happening.
Yeah.
And to them, they're just like, what do you? It's like when certain people cheat on each other. They saw their dad do it their whole life.
Yeah, they're mimicking childhood drama, and that was the home feeling, and that gets perpetuated and identified with, and
But they
that's
think
how it
they
continues.
think it's normal. So I can see how when we're kids, when we're like at our young, like what is our formative years? Like birth to 5. That's like when we're like pretty much formed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we absorb everything. Like, a kid can speak like 7 languages at 5 if they heard the shit because they're just absorbing their environment.
Yeah. At some point, you can't hear anymore. That's why it's really hard for a lot of for people to learn Cantonese because we have like 11 different tones.
Right.
And if you're like not like raised hearing those tones like regularly, you will lose the ability to like be able to hear those tones. That's why it's really hard for people
No
to
shit, I
learn
didn't know.
Cantonese.
I had no
Yeah.
idea.
I should never understand like why like all my white friends' parents would like read to them when they was kids. They knew that they was absorbing that shit.
Yeah.
My dad was like, take your ass in the room. I'm like, read me a book. Take your ass. But yeah, no, I totally I relate to your story. I think your story is dope, but I think a lot of people
It's not even, that was just the beginning.
I know, I'm just saying a lot of people have that in common though. Like, I think that's like an interconnection between everybody.
Yeah.
We all feel like lost or ashamed.
Yeah.
Or different. Or we don't fit in, or what's our purpose?
Yeah.
It's those that act on it that find answers.
Well, I guess because I see myself as one of 4, I'm more ruthless. There's nothing to lose because I have like 3 other people that will be me.
But what are you losing?
Not like that's the thing. That
No, but what she's saying is that
like people are they're like when you think about only you, then you will make choices out of fear of dying or losing. Because like if am I saying this wrong?
Or you mean like if you think about?
But if you think yourself as a group, then you're doing this for
you
the
got the
group.
strength of your brothers and your sisters behind you because you're the one that's gets to do what she wants to do.
Well, not that. Like I just did the opposite.
Yeah.
Well, not like just not doing whatever I was taught.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. And then choosing your own path in front of you just by doing the opposite of what they were forcing down your throats.
But is that like what I want to? Is that what I want? If it's actually the opposite of what they don't want,
Yeah.
In the way it is what they want,
Right.
And if I'm doing the opposite, if I'm doing then of whatever they say, I'm still following their rules. It is because of them. They set the
Right.
rules, and I'm just doing the opposite.
Right.
If they would have taught me something else, I would be doing something else.
Yeah. So
So it is very much still mainly about them.
right.
So it's not like really that's
Right.
why
To rebel
I,
against
yeah.
is still to not be independent
Yeah,
from.
that's why I needed to isolate myself and then to actually focus on trying to like separate all the things that I was taught by them and separating and keeping all the things that I know that I like because I liked that when I was born. So I was like trying to like think of myself as a child again, like what made me happy. And I like started doing a lot of research and going back in my childhood memories, which was like hard, but that's good. I think hard is good. It's necessary sometimes, you know, to go back there and then just figuring out what I really liked as a kid.
Right.
And like what made me sincere happy. Not like making someone else happy, but something that I liked, that I enjoyed just for me. So I started like by day I would be like coding or like making videos, learning, like teaching myself more skills to like continue the job that I used to do. And then at night I started, one of the things that I always wanted to do was do murals and skate. So I just
skate too? I didn't know about the skating.
Yeah, like I started skating in Amsterdam. I threw away my bike and was like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm gonna learn to skate. And I threw away my bike and got a longboard. And then every day I would like skate at least 4 hours a day.
No shit. Did you learn any tricks?
I'm dedicated. Yeah, man.
No shit. You know, I moved to the US for skateboarding.
Yeah, you told me.
Crazy.
But I'm like I'm more a longboarder because it's for long distance. But I would like do tricks too. Not just cruising, man. Like I would like flip my board.
Wheelies?
I would like, you know, like I do downhill too.
Yeah.
So that's why I got most of my scars from. Like I'm just
because when you hit a rock, you slam like there's
I just I don't know.
Man,
I like to when I decide to do something, I will go all the way out. For me, like that's the only way to do things.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. You're either fully right. There's no gray area. I'm going to Hong Kong, or I'm staying in Belgium.
Yeah, no, all the way, man.
No, it's bananas. And so
it's a good. Like skating is a good way of like training your brain to be okay with the with failures.
With failure. Yeah. Because you fail all the time.
Yeah.
It takes probably, I mean, these days it goes a lot quicker. But back in the day, to learn a trick, you probably got to try it for 2 to 3 weeks every day. An hour you got to dedicate. You got this little suitcase full of tricks you want to learn, right? Every day. And you get shinners, you tweak ankles, you slam, you get scraped up.
Yeah,
and it's you versus you all the time. Yeah.
I think that's why I fucking loved it.
Yeah.
Like first of all, you learn how to like deal with your failure and you have to like get on a board again and try again. There's no other way than to like try again.
Yeah.
You hurt yourself, you try again. And like the only way you can land a trick is to have zero doubt.
Yeah.
Because it goes so quick.
Exactly. No fear,
no doubt.
Any fear, you're gonna get hurt.
If you in your brain, you know you can do it. Then you'll land the trick. Like any like segment, like fraction of second of fear will ruin your trick.
Exactly.
That kind of like to train that muscle. Skating is perfect for that. That's the way to do it.
It's magic, man.
Yeah, that's why I got so addicted to it.
Yeah. And people say, this whole wisualization thing is like, woo woo. But actually, in skateboarding, like if you don't see yourself do the trick on that ledge or down those stairs or on flat ground or whatever, if you don't see it, no way you can do it.
Yeah,
you gotta live it in your mind first.
I feel same with music. If you, like, because I played the cello and the violin.
No shit.
If you don't like land, like hear the tones in your head, then you're not gonna make it. Just have that thing, be like, I can do this.
Yeah, bananas.
Yeah.
So then now we're in Hong Kong,
at
this point of the story, because I'm really interested, because I've seen you work. We did a wall together a couple of days ago.
I saw your work too. Just from what he showed me quickly, it's dope.
Oh, thanks.
Oh yeah,
man.
it's super dope.
Yeah.
She's fresh, so much feeling, but it's one thing to see it, and it's another thing to co-create, and you're together on the lift.
I just freestyle.
We just freestyled. So we had a really nice day. It
was so good. It was like all the stars were aligned.
Unbelievable.
Man.
We were supposed to paint like the lower half of the wall, right? And we get there, and my friend who owns the building there, Sporty LA, shout out.
I bought some shoes. They're like 20 years ago.
They're still in business. And he's like, if there's a ladder back there, whatever, just use whatever's there. So we get there, and we're only doing a half of a tall wall because of the upper half you can't reach without like a scissor lift. As soon as we got there, there's a lift there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
Somebody just had a lift.
So, like someone just finished the wall, and like the lift company was too lazy to pick up the lift, so the lift was just still there. Like we arrived there, and like there was like a perfect working lift.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, we are gonna do this.
Oh, we're in business now.
Yeah, but also like that was the first time we met too.
Right. And everything's like aligning, and then
like it was like kind of rainy, but we had like a big giant billboard.
Yeah, the billboard was like a little roof right over
To
where
shelter
our
us from
wall was. So
rain.
in case it's gonna rain,
Yeah.
but if it rains, we're a little bit sheltered, so we can finish
And
probably.
at night, suddenly when it got dark, we got the spotlight right above our wall that
Yeah.
lit on, so we could continue painting.
That's the end of
So
that.
It's
nuts,
like
right?
all these things, just like and the sun came out.
The
At
sun
some
came
point,
out.
and we
Oh,
were
did
like, "Holy motherfuck!"
These young gangsters showed up with this big bag of weed. I don't know, like 4 pounds in a
I
bag.
saw that.
Yeah,
And
Yeah, like this. I saw it on your video.
Yeah, and broke her off with a fat couple of nugs and
yeah, I
flashing.
got some free weed, you
Oh,
know.
And so everything's just aligning, and we're like, okay, this is fun.
Amazing.
And we're laughing on the lift, shooting
had
jokes,
such a
speaking our
good
language, which sounds really funny when you don't speak it all the time.
Krap terug in je put.
Genau, put and malt. So it's really cool, but it's nice to see what I like in collaborations always is it's you could get to see how someone works, up close from start to finish, and the way you attack the wall. Just it was all right there in place. You didn't have to sketch 4, 5, 6 times. It was just in place. And it just grew, and all of a sudden emotion started kicking in, and you just started knitting more parts to it, and it was really nice to see you work.
Yeah, just doodling.
Yeah.
It's really nice to see you work too.
High five.
I want to finish this Hong Kong story.
Oh
man.
yeah.
Did you start gangbanging out there?
Well, I mean, because painting the walls at night by myself.
By yourself?
Yeah, of course, man. I don't know anybody.
Yeah, I have a
there.
question about that very first moment.
It's just me, man. It's just me. Like, that's the thing. It's always just me. Like, growing up in Belgium, like, in that little town, like, I know if I want to get out of there, I have to do it. No one else is gonna come in and like help me or tell me what to like help me out of my situation. Because for the longest time, I was like being super like sad and like like when you look at movies, you see all these people like have this Prince Charming or this one person that teaches them shit.
Self-reliance,
I have nobody teach me shit.
Yeah.
I was like waiting for so
like
long.
that.
I'm like, if nobody's gonna come, I'm not gonna just sit here and wait. I'm gonna like start doing shit.
The cavalry is not coming.
Yeah. So I'm like, with every single thing, like I just realized no one's gonna teach me, no one's gonna come help me or do this stuff. So I just have to do it myself.
But this is for me. This is the biggest moment, and I want to look at it just for a quick second because you went from never having, gone outside to paint, right, to that night you went outside to paint. So you probably arranged a couple of spray cans, maybe.
No spray.
Oh, you went with brush?
I was just first brush.
And what happened because that's a big step. That's your first time,
Yeah.
So and just by yourself, you're like, you know what? I'm gonna I got a couple of brushes here. I'm gonna go out.
I did a little bit in Amsterdam actually.
Okay.
I did a little bit in Amsterdam, but then it became more legit in Hong Kong.
Okay.
Yeah.
And at first it was with brush, no spray paint yet.
I did some spray paint when I was in Amsterdam, but in Hong Kong I just didn't know where to get it. And when I moved there first.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm just gonna do it with paint first. But
where'd you go? Like, did you go like outside or in the middle of the city somewhere?
Well, just in the alleyways. There's a lot of like alleyways in Hong Kong.
Is it different there? Like, do they look at it as like art or like graffiti?
Well, where the place I was living at, there's no graffiti, there's no street art. Like, there's like a tag here and there, but it wasn't really prominent in the area where I was living.
So it wasn't like you had to like duck from the cops and shit.
Well, I thought maybe I would have to do that, but I'm prepared for that shit.
No,
So yeah, like
You got
I
an
would
invisibility cloak, right? You showed it to me.
I just
No,
look
but I'm just saying,
I
is it
just look
like that
a
in Hong
person.
Kong? Do they look at it like that? Too?
I'm
It's
pretty
like-
sure it's illegal,
Oh.
but
Yeah, it's illegal
but-
worldwide. I mean, you're
yeah.
painting on someone's property. No
Yeah.
one's welcoming.
But it's still like
And if it
I
looks
just really
better.
want to do it.
I come out and be like, thank you.
But then, like, when I started doing in Amsterdam, the reason, like, my way of thinking is that I wanted to, like, put something out there on the wall to, like, make people's day a little bit different. I want to break the routine for people.
Right.
You know, like, when you, like, bike the same route every day and, like, I want to, like, have a little, like, weird little character of mine on the
I
road.
like that.
So they would, like, just to break people's routine.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be the same fucking book.
Yeah. Like, for me, it's, like,
I like that. Yeah.
I just like that idea of it because I like to break my routine.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
And it becomes
that
like
little bit of
a
change
point
can
of reference
spark.
for people too,
Yeah.
Like even if it's a small
Yeah.
something on the wall, like they'll have a little insight, like high five, I saw you again
Yeah.
today, and now I'm on my way,
But then doing it in Hong Kong, that was like the only thing that made me feel good.
Mm.
Because I was like going through like a mental stuff by like not knowing the country, not having a job, not having my friends, and not knowing who I am. Without when you take away your environment and it's just you,
Like all your friends and family, yeah.
yeah, like
and you're in
you
some
just
foreign
like,
city
yeah,
to
you're-
you, which
yeah.
is foreign at the time.
Then
yeah.
you're like, who the fuck am I? If
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
have my
yeah.
job, if I don't have my friends, if I don't have my daily activities that I'm used to do, who am I? So I was like having all these questions, and painting walls at night was the only thing that made me breathe again.
Yeah.
So that's why I got really addicted to it.
Right.
And then people started noticing in Hong Kong, and then I sneaked into like a group show of street art, and I painted like a wall, and the gallery owner saw my piece, and she offered me a solo show.
No shit.
Yeah.
Wait, you snuck into a group show?
Yeah.
And then you just started painting on a wall in the gallery?
I didn't paint in the gallery, I painted in the parking lot.
Oh, in the parking lot?
Yeah, because the
I
gallery is...
like that. Good style.
Yeah. I mean, I have huge balls.
Oh, that explains the wheelbarrow.
Just kidding. No, I don't have huge balls, but like... I
No,
don't
so you
know,
just
there's
showed up to
nothing
the group
lose.
show and you're like,
nothing
look,
to
if there's some
lose.
artistic shit happening here, I want to paint here. I just, I'm just gonna go paint
Well,
there.
my friend, like, he got invited, and I just like, was like, okay, I'm gonna do it too.
I like that.
Yeah.
And so
Like-
and then the gallery owner or director saw it, and she's
Yeah.
like, hey, this is pretty good or something.
And this is like the gallery of Jasper Wong. Jasper
Okay.
Wong started that, like, who is the guy who started Powwow.
Powwow guy, yeah.
So like somehow, but he left Hong Kong already. But I like how things were like predetermined, intertwined already
yeah.
for like later.
And that probably like made the introduction to Jasper and Powwow. and
Not
now-
yet, not yet.
Not
But
back
because I
then.
was in Hong Kong.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So then I painted that, and I got my first solo show, and they also gave me my first job painting a mural, which made me so happy because I never thought in my entire life that anyone would pay me money for doing something, like paint something.
Yeah.
Like when they
Yeah.
gave me that cash, also at that point I had zero money.
Yeah.
I didn't even actually had money to like do my show, but somehow, that job came along, and I got money, and I was like crying. I was like, my life is
Unbelievable.
fulfilled. Like I already
I've made it.
Yeah, I've made it.
Yeah.
Someone paid me
This
to
is
paint.
it.
Yeah, I
I
was like
gotta
ready
check.
to like after that to do other stuff. Like for me, that was it, man. I was like, I do not expect anything more than that.
Yeah.
Wow.
But somehow doing that wall, other jobs came, and
Yeah.
I was like, holy fuck. People really want to like pay me to paint shit.
I'm still
That
figuring
blew
this
my
shit out.
mind. Yeah.
But it's working out.
And then
Isn't that amazing how it connects? Like, just like from
could
one
not
thing,
understand
and
that.
just
Yeah.
sharing and sharing and sharing. Then you get one gig and then it starts spreading. And all of a sudden the path gets a little bit wider. And like, man, I think I can keep doing this for a
yeah,
while.
and it's my favorite thing in the world.
Yeah.
Someone
That's
would
good.
pay me to do my favorite thing in the whole entire
best.
world. I
You
was,
should be
like,
paying them is the
shook.
feeling,
Yeah. But then like in 1 year of moving to Hong Kong, from not being a painter to like starting to become a painter, and then 1 year I got to paint a Facebook office in Hong Kong. And then
That was a big one.
Yeah, and that
Oh,
was
shit.
like, wow, I can do this in 1 year. This is too easy.
Yeah.
I need to leave.
Yeah.
So I left.
Wow.
You're like, I did the biggest I did the biggest gig in
like,
Hong Kong.
my mind,
What's next?
Yeah, in my mind, I'm like, if I can do this in 1 year, I could probably like earn more. Like I could see if I stay in Hong Kong, I can become rich.
Right.
I can become rich, and I can become a big prominent
You didn't
painter.
want to do that?
No,
Ah.
that's not my goal. My goal is not to be rich. My goal is not to be famous. My goal is like push my, whatever I can create.
Your
And
goal doesn't have a price on it.
Hey,
Your goal doesn't have a price
no,
on it.
man. Except,
No, I saw that on the wall because I've worked with other people, of course. And, some people just want to get up. They come to LA, hey, what's up? Let's paint a wall. And then they just want to get up. And okay, it's already there, let's get out of here. It's getting cold or whatever. But like you're what I call, and what other people also call, you're a wall dog. Like you like to stay there till there's nothing left to give, until we're rained out, and like look at it again and like, okay, no, we should do this, and maybe that black, we should change the black, and like, all that sort of stuff. And I saw, like, honestly, because there's a difference, and you know it as well. It's people that really, really just love to paint, and then
Yeah.
there's really people that also like to paint, but they have other ideas,
Yeah.
And with you, I
Wow.
really sense that that's the case.
Yeah.
Other
You
mo-
love to paint walls. You
Yeah,
love,
man.
love.
I gave up everything. Right now, I've been traveling now for 5 years, so I haven't had a house for 5 years. Like I gave up. I don't have any possessions besides my suitcase. Like I just like to like live like I am the richest person in the world, and I just paint.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
That's
love
all I
that.
like
That
to.
is
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah. I mean, I don't want to like worry too much about financial stuff. That's why I give up all my baggage. You know, cut off all the baggage so that I don't have anything to worry about.
Right.
All I focus is like right now and what I'm doing right now.
That is
And
fucking
just-
amazing.
Yeah.
You're living in the present.
That's all I can do.
Yeah.
That
Like
is fucking-
like everything for me is about, you know, because like if you think too much about the future or the past, you're only gonna like get stressed out.
And
But
distracted by
yeah,
it.
but if you just focus on what you can do right now and give it your all, just take it step by step, man. Things will come.
That's
Like
it.
That
Is
yeah.
it. That's it.
I've been practicing that like by my travels too. You know, just focus on now.
Yeah.
Do the job well, and somehow the next thing will kind of like
don't half-ass it
follow.
when you get an opportunity to
Yeah.
paint. Like really, like don't take it for granted. You know.
Yeah.
My
And-
therapist,
Grateful every day, man.
my therapist told me if you have a foot in the future and a foot in the past, you're pissing on your present.
That's a good
I
one,
like
man.
that one, man.
That's a really good one.
That is dap. I
Paint
can't
that,
reach
my
you.
brother. Paint that, my brother.
I will. Yeah.
But that's
pissing
true.
on the now, yeah,
That's
wow.
true, man.
Yeah.
You
That's
lose
deep.
so much of right now by worrying.
Yeah, and that's the tough one though, because we're all pulled by the past. It's a struggle for a lot of people, for
Yeah.
myself
It's
included.
still very important to
Yeah.
understand
Yeah,
and to work through those
And-
traumas and stuff. But then
But it
at some
also,
point,
and I heard this somewhere and it really resonated with me because I spent like the last 5 years in therapy, you know, and
what kind of therapy?
cognitive, like PTSD, all types of models, because I just wanted to try out just different ways of understanding myself because I just didn't have the answers and I felt lost. So I really relate to your story.
Mm,
And one thing that I learned is, and like all of the stuff that I hear, one thing that really resonated with me was humans suffer from memory and imagination, right?
mm,
We suffer from shit that we remembered 1985.
yeah.
My daddy did this. My mama did. She cheated on me.
Yeah.
I went to jail. I did this. It's all memories.
mhm.
You know what I mean? And
But the memories become your imagination, though.
yeah,
Because
but-
your
but then
memories are
you're-
not the same than
but-
the people
Exactly.
But some people-
memories
some-
do or dare at that point.
That's
some
exactly
people are
right.
motivated by their memories, not in a good way.
Right.
They're scared. They're like, you know what? I'm not gonna do that because my last memory of that was, it didn't work out. So,
Yeah, fear.
so then they start
Fear.
planning their future based off their memory,
Yeah.
and that's their imagination. Versus, I almost sometimes I wouldn't want this for myself, but like, what if you just couldn't remember? Like,
Yeah.
shit
Okay,
would never
honestly,
Then you have a
happen.
total loss of identity, which is also not good. You know?
But no,
But I see what you're
I'm
saying.
what if you didn't remember like the bad things that shaped you? But then
I think
but
they're blessed.
I know there's
I
two
th-
sides to that.
I think they're super blessed. Like everything that's bad that's in the past, you know, they created an opportunity to not only struggle through them, right, but also to learn from them, no matter how bad they were.
Those
Yeah,
are
But
options.
bad
but
is only like a perception of it, though.
I
That's
totally-
also true.
Because
I
like in
I-
time, like right now, everything that was bad in my past turned out to be fucking amazing.
I totally
Yeah.
agree with
I
you.
would not be me if all that shit didn't happen.
I totally
That
You're
agree.
shit
like you would be
pushed
like
me.
you'd be a sterile version of yourself.
Yeah,
no
yeah.
depth, no relatability, no wisdom. Actually, you know, because
Yeah.
how-
all the
how-
bad is
if
is
wisdom is
good.
knowledge,
no.
if wisdom,
I agree with you. I'm just saying that a lot of people are, you know, we talk about mental health. A lot of people are like extremely depressed or like almost suicidal depressed because of their memories. And I know what you're saying.
Right.
It's how we perceive things, but unfortunately, we all don't perceive things the same
Yeah.
way. We
Yeah,
all
and that's an
react
interesting question.
Respond to shit the same way.
Yeah.
There's people who have to take 8 medications just to make it through the
yeah.
day
And I'm not a fan of
Based-
medication.
based on their memories. I'm not a
Right.
fan either, but I also realized that, and I wasn't a fan until I realized that some people actually need that shit.
Well,
They're like
It
to
yeah.
survive.
it depends, because memory is a word. Then you go into the memory. There's more words, and then you run into feeling. But then you pursue that even deeper. What's the thought behind the thought? What's the feeling? Is that, you know, mom or dad, please tell me that you love me. You're gonna run into that.
Of course.
Please tell me that you're proud of me. And if you've never heard that, if you've never got that, like I
I never heard
struggle
that.
with
That's
that
what-
too. I was in therapy for that shit too. And you know, at the end of that line, right? You after the depression is a way to sort of really ruminate in that stew of those emotions, right?
Mhm.
Then there's anxiety, which is which
That's
one
an
wants to
after
come up and
effect.
you push it down, then you get anxious, you get small, you get slump, right? Then after that, though, once you dare to like feel the feeling that you had back then, which I think is very scary for a lot of people because we're fucking furious underneath for what happened to some of us, you know? And then to feel that, though, is super scary because you don't know what you would do. Because in your subconscious, you already committed crimes and murders against those that betrayed you. And I think that is scary, but I think through therapy and other ways, it's a good way to get to it, walled in and safe. But I think medication, sometimes, like my mom's been on medication 30 years, it can help. But, you know, I know what you're saying.
Are you pro-medication or
I'm-
anti?
I thought I was anti until I realized that some people can't function.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
And I've actually met those people. where
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah. Mental disease is like
It's real.
It's real. It's so
crazy.
real.
No, that's what I mean. And it's
Yeah,
shaped.
it's so real.
A lot of it, and it's not just memory. I mean, it's shaped by experiences. It's shaped by Iraq, war, poverty,
Yeah, man.
family.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So we all
Yeah.
suffer from these ailments, and we all are trying to arrive to a place where we can just feel okay.
But also, I think like for me, because like it comes in waves. My depressions comes in waves.
I think
yeah,
everyone
yeah.
has
It just
depression.
like that's why you just have to accept this is just part of it.
How do you cope with it when you feel like particularly low in like,
Like,
in a period or something?
How I do it is like I just feel like a piece of shit most of the time. And then
That's some real shit.
I just make a decision. Like right now, like I felt kind of like really sad for a few days. And then I just like went to like a Korean spa. Just this $25. And I spent like it's a 24-hour one. I spent 5 hours there just
No
by
shit.
myself.
Fuck
And it was
24-hour spa for 25
yeah,
bucks?
for $25.
over on
And-
Olympic
yeah.
and West.
And I just like spent time with myself there, and I body shocked my body temperature shocked my body. I went to the really hot
Yeah.
like water, and then the cold one, and then the hot and the cold and the hot and the
I
cold.
just did that over
And-
New Year's.
Yeah, but the thing is like it's a mental thing. Temperature is a
abs-
mental thing.
It absolutely
If
is.
you just like breathe,
Yeah.
then
The-
like and just accept this is it, then
you
will-
adapt.
you don't
Yeah.
feel the cold anymore, and you don't feel the hot anymore either. So like that's what I'm trying to tell my brain.
Mhm.
Like I'm feeling like a piece of shit right now, but if I can like not feel this cold and accept the cold is normal,
Yep. Sit
and
with the
like
discomfort.
just accept with it, then like I was like also like consciously breathing very consciously, and also thinking that I really have to like stop wasting my energy thinking about all the negative shit and put that energy into like thinking the opposite.
So, sometimes easier said than done, but
yeah,
you're
but
absolutely right.
Of course it's
Yeah.
hard.
No,
I mean,
no,
that's
no,
why I
no.
still have to like
Yeah.
do it, you know?
That's deep. Like I used to
Just put that
I
energy.
used to, and I'll say it and I tell everyone this where I go to therapy. Like I suffer from anxiety and depression, and it
Yeah.
comes in waves in and out.
Yeah.
And I used to numb the shit
Yeah.
by like drugs and partying.
Yeah.
But then I realized
I remember some of that heavy, yeah.
Yeah, someone told me that like, not only do you just numb the memories and the pain, you also numb the joy. That's the problem.
Mm,
So
wow.
to not do that and just let that shit travel through you and just be like, you know what?
Breathing, man.
Like
Breathing.
even if it we all find different tools. I learned that walking at night helps me. That's some crazy shit. Like I literally go for like an hour walk at night to get out of my
Nice.
own head because I have
Yeah.
like my own like chatter. And it's really
Exercising helps too.
I do
Yeah.
every day.
Like like exercise, like just anything to like distract you from your own doom thinking.
Yeah.
Like it's that.
Yeah.
It's
snapping
intrusive.
out of it.
Yeah.
It's
just be
intrusive
like-
thoughts because we have these core beliefs about ourselves.
Right.
Yeah.
And then we have to remember, like, that's not true.
I know.
Right.
Like
I know.
you are your own worst enemy, man.
Yeah.
Like that's what I have to like because I'm mostly by myself, like I know I'm safe with myself. But when I'm around people, they can be so overwhelming that it really can affect the way that I think
Too
about
much
myself.
data, too many things to like
yeah,
consider.
I'll be like,
yeah.
oh, they probably
I get
think
like
I'm a
that.
piece of shit. They
Yeah.
probably think I'm like boring as fuck.
That's an inner belief. That's a core belief. That's not what they're probably even thinking.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
yeah,
like
They're
you
probably
believe
thinking
that.
like, yo, she's cool as fuck. Or
Uh-huh.
maybe they're thinking like,
And
you're a
that's
piece
what's
of shit.
crazy, when you just share sometimes, not that that's always the thing to do, but when you do open up, like we are now here,
Sharing is caring.
Sharing is caring.
Sharing is
You
caring.
every time I
Caring.
did take that wager, when I decide to open up and share, I hear from the other side, man, I feel the same way,
Yeah.
but in a different way.
Yeah.
You know,
Vulnerability is
Unbelievable.
always the
Yeah.
gateway to communication and healing.
yeah,
I'm gonna say that one more time. Vulnerability is the gateway to communication and
Yeah.
healing.
Yep.
Because
That's the real shit.
you show yourself vulnerable makes other people like see this and
exactly.
be like and recognize it, and be
Yeah.
real. And I mean, have you ever heard about the imposter syndrome?
Say that again.
Imposter syndrome?
Imposter, where you take the pleasing attitude to the
No,
nth
like
degree.
that, like you, like for example, like you, like if you're an artist, like me or whatever, and you think you're an imposter. You're in the scene, but you think you're an
Oh,
imposter. Like
yeah.
any moment,
Not good
They're
enough.
gonna find out.
they're gonna
Yeah,
find
yeah, yeah.
out that I'm a
That's
hoax.
That's
That actually I can't do shit.
yeah, that's an
They're gonna,
obsessive
like-
compulsive one.
I-
Yeah.
that was one of my core beliefs.
Yeah,
Really?
like dude, yeah.
Yeah, I had no
But
idea.
that's the thing. Like I have that too. I'm like any moment they're gonna find out that I'm like a hoax. That like
Yeah.
I'm like actually mega lame or
I
whatever.
think these are natural feelings
Yeah.
just from like all the shit that we're just shown
Yeah.
in the world. Like,
But-
you should have this house, but
Yeah.
I'm not really a baller.
Yeah.
They're gonna know that I'm struggling to pay rent.
Yeah.
But if you share this, then and someone else tells you I feel exactly the same way, and you'd be like, but I thought you were like the
Then
Right,
there's this-
right.
There's
That's
this relief
right.
that happens.
Yeah.
Then the imposter syndrome goes away.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
then
yeah.
when you realize that everybody feels that way, then
And
you're
people
not an
do.
imposter anymore.
Yeah,
Because
it's,
everybody
yeah.
feels that. It's
Hence
not.
why we have his podcast.
Hey, Benediction, rise for Benediction.
I told the
You're
judge.
such an
I
imposter.
was-
I'm the imposter.
I was raised wrong.
I'm the number one bandit here. What do you want? There's no problem here. But
I told the judge I was raised wrong.
hey, but that's the thing. Who's raised right? Bring him before me. Let's take a look. I want to meet someone that was raised
there's
right.
no normal.
They're not
Let's
out
say
there.
it. There's no normal, man.
Black Jesus.
That's
right. What about yellow Jesus?
Yeah, can we get a yellow
What
Jesus?
about him?
About time.
That's what happened. Then there's white, then there's green. Now there's an alien
What about
Jesus.
the yellows?
What about the orange?
Broccoli Jesus.
Yeah.
Jesus Jews. But yeah, that's and that's what's I think we're gonna find. I know this is our first episode throughout this, hopefully in a long line of many.
I hope so. This is really,
But-
really awesome. Yeah,
But-
I love getting to know
You
people.
expect this is going to be like
but
this?
Sean,
Well, with my personality, absolutely.
my
Oh,
man.
yeah. No, with y'all too.
I know it's going to be good because I'm here.
Oh man, you made it good. We're so blessed
My
to have you
imposter
here. For real.
syndrome. I knew I was whack.
Man, we're all fugazis. But wait, so I think what we're gonna find, and I know this already because I've been thinking about it, and I've noticed something about like friends from around the world that are creative, right? There's always they're the crazy ones because they're the sensitive ones, right? So that sensitivity is paired with what? And these are the answers we're going to find, I think. There's going to be a common thread throughout all the guests, and we're going to get a little...
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. Every episode we're
Hey,
going to
might as well
talk
hang
about
up now.
feelings.
Everyone dies in the end.
Everyone does. Yeah. Life itself is a
no
grim...
one makes it out alive.
yeah.
But okay. Like I feel. That's the thing. I say I feel. I don't say I think anymore. I say I feel. Shit is real. Yeah.
Hey, don't spill that apple juice.
Spoiler alert.
No, but that's a real thing. Like...
That's the dude. Spoiler
What?
alert.
That's it. That's the name of the podcast.
But spoiler alert. Yo, spoiler alert is a good one.
It's not bad.
I
Should it
would
be that?
spoiler alert.
It's hard to say, though. Me too,
Spoiler
as an immigrant.
alert.
Spoiler.
Spoiler.
Spoiler. Ah, fuck.
Spoiler alert. Cannot be said.
It's kind of a dope name, though.
It's cool.
Spoiler alert.
Dude, I think it's cool.
I like
that
it.
shit is like
Wow,
yeah,
let's
yeah.
do it. Did we just...
Spoiler!
Spoiler! I can't even say it. It's an unspeakable podcast.
But that's because
You
you're from
can't even say
Belgium.
that.
You mumble all
Can
the
you say
time.
it? You say it. Say it again.
Spoiler alert.
But it's memorable.
It's memorable.
It is though.
You can't say it, but I
Because
remember that
you
shit.
want you kind of want to know the spoiler.
Yeah.
You kind of do.
Because it's a fucking spoiler of
The
life.
spoiler is, like Sean said, good doctor. What is the prognosis? Well,
What is the prognosis?
and prognosis is, I am your doctor. I say to you, invariably you will die. Spoiler alert. So what are we gonna do with the in between time, right?
That's
And
called-
these are the
that's called
stories.
That's called the present.
Yep.
Because the future is death, right? We know that. Spoiler alert. But
I'm
now,
so bummed out
yeah.
now. I'm gonna die. You're telling me I'm gonna die?
my bad.
God damn!
Oh shit, we hit a nerve. No, but I think that could be it.
It's definitely a top something.
It's up there.
Okay,
It's
okay.
up there.
Can I tell you something
But
about like that
Oh,
will
my
maybe
bad.
like make you feel more okay, or like whenever you feel shitty or
please,
something?
absolutely.
Because like I think it's really like when you think about the bigger picture, you will feel less shitty. I think
Bigger picture.
like if you only think about you and see yourself as an entity, it's like, oh, I'm so shitty, I'm like this, that, then you'll get really sad. But if you like, oh fuck, I'm not saying this.
I know
right.
what you're saying. Can I finish your thought?
Yeah. Finish
So,
my thought.
a great one is like, in all these kind of different ways, like to have something greater than you, then relieves yourself of the pressure of being little old you, like navigating. So when you think of yourself as this little being on a rock ball floating around in our outer space around a spherical
going there.
fire in the middle of fucking nowhere, maybe it can be antidepressive to think about that. Or maybe it's really depressing because then you're so insignificant.
But you have to like see yourself as part of humankind, about like or human consciousness.
That's actually the only thing that makes me.
Yeah,
one of
that
the
makes
things
you
that make me
feel
better
okay.
Is that like
It's not, don't feel all that pressure just on you. The pressure is not just on you. It's
Yeah.
like, like,
It's like this-
see it as we're all contributing, trying to like, go forward and build something, like make it lighter for everybody.
this right here is like more will feel more satisfying than an hourly wage. You know what I mean? Someone was like, you have 1 hour to talk like this, or you can go and just make your $100 an hour and go do. This will always, to me, is what it's about.
Yeah.
When you say the bigger picture, it's not thinking about all the program shit you learn. Like the bigger picture
Right.
is to think about like what you and other individuals have to offer, because it's not just micro. It's not on a micro level.
Yeah.
It's a macro level. It's all of us. It'd be suck if it was just me.
Yeah.
Not it would suck, but it's like I enjoyed it. Like I'm of service to other people. I enjoyed it. I'm a sister.
Service to other people.
I'm enjoyed it. I have like friends.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
like a brother,
Like,
and like jiu-jitsu buddies. It's like
yeah.
that's the bigger picture. But those things, once you realize that those things don't like cost a fucking dime.
Oh yeah,
All
the
it-
best
all-
things in
all it
life
costs is your
are for free.
vulnerability and your
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Spend years to find
Oh.
that out, and the whole time I've been trying to like fucking half fake it. I didn't know that all it costed was just being myself, but I didn't know who my fucking self was at the time.
But that's the hard thing. But it's also, it is your only duty in life to be purely you,
I agree.
because only you can be you. Like, and I think the hard thing about right now is that we compare ourselves too much
Right.
with other people,
Upward,
and like
downward.
and
Oh,
like
that's
we
that,
we
yeah.
think we want, like we should be like them, but no, like you should be, your full responsibility is to be you.
Absolutely.
And like if you can be purely you, then that will like instigate someone else be like, oh, this person is so really himself that
Yeah.
I should be myself too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
That's
yeah.
powerful, right?
Yeah,
there.
it is, man.
That's super,
Like,
super powerful.
It's like I've heard this one analogy. Is that how
Analogy,
you say it?
yeah.
Analogy, where okay, so like you have reality, and if that would be like a sphere, then like this is reality. This is like the
That's the
thing.
core. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we have like a bigger sphere around it, and there's like little holes everywhere looking at the reality, and like we are each one hole. This is our perspective of looking at the reality.
Right.
And the only way that we can know what reality is if we add on all the
Pieces.
pieces.
Other
But
perspectives.
it's very important for you to only look through your thing and and tell people
How you see it.
how you see
Yeah.
reality. That's your reality, and your reality
That's fire.
like adds to like
That's
like the
fire.
full form of what reality is.
Yeah.
So like if you're gonna keep on pretending to like to be someone else, this other perspective, whatever, that's not you. Then you're like it's not how it should be.
Yeah,
That
you're
is
playing to a different band.
Yeah, like you
Than-
just
than-
have to
than
like
your own.
just be aware that whatever you see and whatever you feel and whoever you are, that's the only thing that is your duty
Yeah.
to be able to like, and it share, like don't be scared to like share your own reality and how you see things. Just be that, and then if everybody does that, then we will be able to like form the
Form
real
like
shape
Voltron.
of reality is.
Or coming to conclusions.
Form
and
like
sharing.
Voltron, and I just happen to be the head.
Yeah.
No, but that's deep.
Can I,
Does that make sense?
actually,
Am I
I
saying
love
this?
that.
No,
Yeah,
am I
you're
saying this
saying
right?
it.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely
Because I'm
right.
always like scared that I'm not
Yeah.
saying it. The people don't
But
understand what I'm saying.
in Buddhism, they speak about that. We're all aspects of the Buddha. We're all
Yeah.
expressions of that divine. We're all strands. We're all different antennae
Yeah.
of the divine self,
Yeah.
or whatever you want to call it, life force, love, all that sort
Mhm.
of stuff. And we're all worthwhile exactly the way we are, with our
Yeah.
ups and downs,
Yeah, man.
and successes and abilities, and maybe
so
bad luck
beautiful.
moments, and mental histories, and like all that sort of stuff. It's all valid. It's all here to
Yeah.
make this mesh, and it's actually behind you. Look at that piece behind you. That's what that is.
Shout out to his own work.
Hey, boom! Shout out to my own work, yo. Hey. .com.
Yeah, it's important for us
Yeah.
to like help each other to feel better about
Yeah.
ourselves and be like, hey, you are important.
Exactly.
You are important.
So for
you
all
being here is
because there's going to
important.
be a lot
building
of
a wall.
there's going to be a lot of people listening also, as I'm like
Because hey, I got 500 followers.
man, that's plenty,
Okay,
man.
540.
They're gonna, because I'm sure you get a lot of people that slide into your DM, and I'm sure the questions are the same with the questions I get for the most part. And it's just like
I never get
it's the
those.
first step,
What's that?
slide into your DM. Is that a lot of people struggle with like the first step. They
First
come
step of what?
the first step of like becoming who they envision themselves to be, right?
But envision or you just be. Why would you like want to make a vision of yourself if you can just be though?
Great answer.
I think like if you like have a vision, like I don't have a vision. I don't know who I'm supposed to be.
You don't have a vision, but
you know what you want to make.
A lot of people were trying to force a vision onto you. So to forget that it's not always that easy. I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
To be is the ultimate goal. But if you spent your whole life saying, be a student, be a worker, be this, be that, be that, be that, that become to find your own identity. You're right. You just have to be.
Yeah.
But like I'm saying like it's all easy and shit, but like obviously I'm struggling with it myself, eh?
Of course.
Like
No,
I don't know.
But I guess
I don't know shit. I don't know shit.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler
We're
alert.
all struggling.
Yeah. We all
There's
are.
no
Yeah,
one on this
yeah,
planet
exactly.
that can pretend like they're
Yeah.
not struggling.
Exactly.
And the moment I realized that, the moment
That's
Yeah.
I felt that.
That's why I'm like saying all this because I like to like tell this to myself to calm myself down. But obviously I'm still struggling too.
Of
And
course, because that's
to hear that
contrast.
makes me feel not good that you're struggling. It makes me feel good about my struggles.
Yeah,
Because-
that's why I say this. Yeah.
Because we all are.
We all are. We
For
all
me to
are.
go,
It's
oh,
hard.
You know what's funny? You ever walk up to someone and be like, hey, how you doing? They be like, oh, I'm good.
Yeah.
It's the automatic answer.
Everyone
yeah.
just says I'm good.
I don't say that.
I say, oh, you really want to know? You got 2 hours?
I'll, like-
Let me buy you a cup of coffee, friend.
Wrap it up, B.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
Be straight up.
I know we're jumping into like some real theoretical dope shit, but I wanted to ask you because it's still about you. Still.
She's unmarried.
No.
I have 5 kids though.
That's what's up.
in four continents.
That's what's up. Little painters. Where have you traveled? I want to know some of these places in 5 years that you've been, and how did you survive?
Okay.
Yeah, how'd you pull that one off,
so
young master?
Survive.
the first 2 years, every 2 weeks I would be a different place. So I've been a lot of places.
I want to see your
So
passport.
that's like basically 26 countries in 1 year.
yeah.
And then I did the second year was the
26
same.
times 2.
I can't do math.
No, I'm just saying. I just did the math. That's I
That's
just dropped
fine.
it out there for
Yeah.
all you listeners.
And was it always a place where you at least had one friend? Because that's the way I like to do it.
No.
I need to know one
No,
person.
no
I have a
way,
feeling you don't
man.
need to know
Dude,
nobody.
come on. Like, I told you already. Like when I moved to Hong Kong, I don't know people.
Exactly.
When I went to like America by myself the first time, I don't know people.
Nothing. You just show
I knew
up.
one
I'm here.
person in the whole country. And that's it.
Yeah.
That's not going to stop me from
I
going.
like that.
I don't give
here.
a shit.
Boom.
That's the thing, man. Like I don't
That's
put
big,
limits.
man.
I
you
just
know, that's huge.
you know,
How do you decide
Sean.
on where to go?
feeling.
You just like
I'm
going.
Yeah, I'm going. But then but then on the road, like once it started rolling, it's like that's what this is what I do. I go to one place, I hustle walls, I do my ultimate best, and then somehow someone
Giving
will
is
turn up,
receiving. Boom.
and then they will give me a project to go to the next city
Yeah,
or the
I
next
like that.
country. And that's how it went for like these last 5 years.
Wow.
No planning.
Yeah.
No planning. I'm not like, I'm not posting shit on social media or whatever. It's just like me focus on right now and giving it my like 150% right now.
And not
Beautiful.
trying to plan it.
No,
Yeah.
no, because like thinking about the future stressed me out.
Exactly. Yeah.
I can't do that.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
like
yeah.
it's like I just take project per project,
Yeah.
city by city, and only do my best.
Yeah. And meaning like hustle walls, you mean the classical way of like you see a wall, you go in.
Yeah. Well, that was in the beginning. I would be
Yeah.
like, just like, oh, like exactly what you did today.
Yeah.
Oh, I see you have like issues with graffiti. Like, if I do a mural, then that will reduce the chance of
Yeah, we
getting
stopped
your wall
off at a
hit.
beautiful
Yeah.
wall we saw, a
Yeah.
huge wall. I'm like, hey, I got a brochure, let me go in there. And we went in there together and maybe we'll get it. So, but that's a good
Yeah,
classical way.
that's how I.
So you guys actually approach.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
but that's in the beginning. But now, like,
Yeah.
I got into the routine. You know, like now, like I get.
They know you're in
flown.
town, blah,
Yeah,
blah, blah.
like now it's like actually now I get invited. Well, actually in the beginning too though. In the beginning I was like hustling, but after pretty soon after they would like offer me a flight, offer me like a place
Yeah.
to stay, offer to pick me up, pay me, feed me, and that's how I survive.
And that's it.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
I just go from place to place.
That's dope.
And I
Because guess
you know,
what? There's walls everywhere.
Yeah.
In most places. Not at
No, I
places.
think I know that story.
And that's cool. And then you're there, and then people show up. They drive by. Hey, we want something too.
Yeah,
and then you
they,
connect.
then they fly me to the next
That's how it
city.
always is. But it starts by giving it away in a way, right? You give it away, you showcase, and you do all that kind of thing, and then the energy bubbles up around you, and then you attract other things.
Well, you don't have really. It's not the expectation. Like I'm gonna get paid.
No,
It's
no,
like I'm
it's
here.
like-
I'm doing this regardless, and then that's just the result of just the universe's like energy. Like
It's just the way it is. You know, that's my
it's
frustration.
good timing too.
living
Honestly, good.
living in LA,
yeah.
my frustration is, right? I guess the statistic is there's 20,000 actors that are out of work, right? In
I think
LA.
there's more than that.
I'm like, why? Like, if we apply what we do, you know, as people that paint in the street, if we apply that mindset to a different art, which is acting, right? If they were applying what we were doing, you know, hustling walls, but they should hustle stages. This should be like a play being performed on every street corner in parking lots. I've been here a long time. I've seen nothing. So that makes me question why people are here. Are you really here to act?
I've
Or are
been-
you here to get rich and famous? You know what I'm talking about?
Mhm.
It's deep.
It's the
You're laughing at me.
the
But it's a nice parallel. Like why don't we see
But in general, everything though, like it's not only about art. Like I feel you just have to pursue whatever you want to
that's
pursue.
it, yeah. If
Just-
it has to come out, it has to come out.
I think so.
I'm like learning some shit right now.
Are you?
I'm about to, you know what? I'm about to move to Hong Kong.
No, like that's the thing. Feel you know which place you should go to. In your heart,
Culver City.
you know.
Where should he go?
Eh?
Give
Where
me a
should he go?
destination.
I don't know you that
Zottegem.
well.
Would he do well in Zottegem?
Nah.
But like, I mean,
Based on her story, I'm good.
I think I feel you on that
I'm
one.
good. I'm good.
well, yeah. I mean,
Gotta knock a Nazi out.
No, there's no Nazis in Zottegem. There may
It
be
sounds
one.
Nazi-ish.
It's
Dude,
not
man.
Nazi.
Zottegem.
No, you know what it is? It's just peasant mentality there. You know, it's just people that haven't left the country.
No, that's
You
everything.
know,
That's
you know what I mean.
That's-
It's
that's-
local yokels.
That's like Trump.
I think. I mean, you'll tell
Well,
me.
I still very much love Belgium though.
Of course,
I think Flemish is the most beautiful language out there.
it's very soft.
I love Belgium. I've been there.
How many
That's some
times you been to
goodness.
Belgium? At least 6 times, yeah. And to Ghent too.
Yeah, sick, man.
Kind of, you know, with my brother with music. Different.
Sick.
Kind of the same journey, but we were trying to get rich too.
That's where you
Yeah,
fucked
yeah.
up, brother.
Well,
That's where
yeah,
you fucked
yeah.
up.
yeah.
Yeah. Well,
And
cool, man.
That's when I knew I fucked up. Yeah.
Zitten we goed, denkt u?
I don't know.
Wait.
Do-
Nah, that ain't fair.
Well, I mean,
Oh,
do you guys want to know more? Like, what do you want
No,
to know?
no,
we
I
can
thought
keep
you-
going. No, I was checking in with her to see like how you feel about like the duration of things, and I think we're in a good flow.
I still have whiskey.
Yeah. Bam, pour yourself
Alright,
on.
okay.
Like, we got real talk. Like, I don't know if you guys want to talk more about art or you guys want to, you know.
Everything. I just
Because like right now, like we're just having a chat.
We're just having
It's
a
not.
chat.
It's not even about me, which I love. You know,
but
it doesn't
is
have
about-
to be.
It is kind of about you too, though.
Is
You're
it?
sharing your perspective.
No, this is
Oh,
definitely
yeah.
about you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And it's about us.
Oh, you
It's
don't
about,
want. You
but
don't
it's,
want.
yeah, it's about us.
No,
Exactly.
It's
that.
really not.
No,
yeah, and you know,
I'm half
like, I'm
joking,
sharing this
but it
because you
is, like,
share.
No,
That's
because
why I
what?
shared those parts that I'm sharing
Yeah.
because of you guys.
Because one thing I want to say is very important for me to say that to you. is that as soon as I heard your story, and now that I got to know you a little bit better over the past couple of days, this is not,
This is the second day we see each
Oh,
other,
dude.
but sure.
no, this is getting serious now. But I'm like, that story, I have maybe 5 other friends on the planet
Yeah.
that are doing things the way you're doing them,
Yeah.
right? And I know how hard it is. I know how much you need to have balls of steel. To just be on the road for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years, that's crazy shit, right?
But it's normal.
But wait. And so the fact that you're doing that and it's moving out for you, things are appearing in the way that they are, as they should. Like, and you come from the place that I happen to know, this little buttfuck little town.
Yeah.
To me, I
Todo
feel so
conflito.
proud of you. Like
Aw.
as a brethren, as a person on the outside, like I'm super proud of you.
Aw,
That's big.
really?
Yeah.
Aww.
I'm serious. That's not easy.
Aw, thank you.
This is this life that you're living is not easy at all. But it
Yeah.
is fun along the way. But
I
no one
never-
chooses
yeah,
it,
I never thought it was. I thought this was normal.
Yeah.
I thought everybody was doing this.
But you knew no one was though.
I didn't know anyone, but somehow in my head I thought this is normal.
Yeah.
And then I mean,
Who gave you that idea that this life is normal?
I just see our artists and I assume this is their lives too.
Imagination.
But then it turns out that they actually, most of them have a house they go back to. I didn't know that part.
Now you just keep going. I think what you're doing is super brave too. Like,
Super brave, man.
Malkovich is kind of trying to.
We got
do
a friend that's doing it. He's got a one bag, #1bag.
Shout out to Malco.
How many countries? 60 countries?
Malkovich.com.
Some shit. And he's emceeing. He's doing it with emceeing and stuff and along the
Sick.
way.
And it's all motivation too. Like I think your ambition and motivation is different. Like I know artists like rappers that did that tour for years, but they try to make it into a business structure.
Oh yeah.
Versus,
Yeah.
like you said, I'm just like right now. And I think that's the element that is the only way that is going to sustain it or you're going to enjoy it.
But
Because the moment you stress out over money, that shit ain't going to be fun
you
no
can't.
more.
But
You can't.
people are telling me that
It was
that
like,
I
no, you need to be
should-
selling your shirt. Get to a shirt.
Well, I mean, for real though, I never thought I was gonna get this far.
Yeah.
I was like, it was like let's see, let's
isn't
quit everything and let's see what happens.
Man,
you know?
I didn't think I was gonna get this far.
I never thought
This
I
is
was gonna get
bananas.
this far. So any moment, I'm like, this is gonna stop. I'll have to go back to a normal job
But
or something
let me
like
ask
that.
you, what's wrong with making money?
Nothing, man. Making money is sick.
Man, I love money personally.
Yeah, I would not mind to.
Money is
shit.
energy. Money
No, I'm
facilitates.
saying, like,
I mean,
what's wrong with structuring? For instance, my introduction to this world of art is outside of Chase, who I've known forever. It's like Banksy and those guys. I'm like, damn, those guys make tons of money. And then I saw this guy online named Retna who makes I guess he's fucking balling. You know
He's
what I mean?
balling, but those are
He's
like
mega
we're talking like
balling.
Mick Jagger, we're
Mega
talking Lucky
balling.
Ones, we're talking this and that, and no
No.
disrespect or credit taken away, but the reality of being a painter that likes to paint in the street is a different one than those spikes that pop up every once in a while.
You gotta,
and
that's
so
what I mean. It's everyone's motivation for passion. It's like, are you doing it because you would do it even if you didn't get paid, or would you do it?
Of
Or
course,
eventually, it's like, I gotta fucking buy a house or something.
No.
Something's gotta happen.
Not-
or do you
I'll
not
let
give
I'll
two
let
shits
I'll
about
let
that?
Kara answer
Well,
this one.
I mean,
Because I think that's what people struggle with when trying to pursue their passions.
right now, I'm like, maybe I should take it more into a certain direction, kind of. Because it's been 5 years, and now I feel like I should make,
Do more shows and stuff like that.
I don't,
Like
I'm not
sell
sure. I'm not
actual work?
sure what exactly that I want to. But in the beginning, when I started, my goal was to travel everywhere and paint
Right.
everywhere. I want to be everywhere and paint something. And right now, I feel like I'm in a stage where I could easily go anywhere and find a project.
Yeah,
But that's why I'm like, okay, now I have to find another thing that to pursue.
right. Because you kind of did the goal now. You went
I
to all these
I
countries.
kind of reached
Yeah.
way further than my goal
Yeah.
initially. So right now, I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I think I should set another 5-year goal.
Yeah. Where would you want to have home base then?
I guess LA.
LA's good.
Yeah, I thought about it for a while, and
LA's good.
LA is good because forever I've been outside of where the epicenter of where stuff is happening and where people are.
Yeah.
And here all the best of the best are here.
Yeah.
And
Thank
I
you.
love the
I
energy.
appreciate that.
It's really lovely.
Who's brushing my shoulder off? Is that you?
Like I want to be part of a community now.
Sure. Yeah.
I want to make time and like build a relationship and friendships with people. This is my new goal.
And you know what's fun
That's
about
a
LA?
great
As
support
opposed,
system
Yeah,
stuff.
As opposed-
because like before
Amazing.
I'm always like alone, and like right now I'm like, you know what? I want to like actively pursue friendship and relationship
Yeah.
with people and do cool shit together.
and your best friend lives in LA, yeah?
yeah,
Yeah.
Lauren. Hey.
Shout.
I want to like, just be there to support people and,
That's super important.
Yeah.
Support system is great.
yeah.
Yeah.
You come from a town where it was very small.
Yeah.
I live in this big city where I felt probably just as lonely as
Yeah,
you were.
yeah,
Yeah.
With millions
probably.
of people.
Yeah.
But until you actually have like a sincere support system of people who identify with the same struggle and the same
Mhm.
movement and are vulnerable and open, then you have a support system.
Yeah, man.
I saw, yeah.
So
But
important.
You can get that around the world. But yeah,
Yeah, but then, the interactions are so short.
They're
Two
sh- yeah,
two
you're-
weeks interaction and new interaction 2 weeks, and then,
Yeah.
like...
You know what? Because
I've had
I know what
pimples
she's
all
talking about. You show up somewhere. You know how it was when on all the tours you did and stuff. Like you show up, there's big excitement. You're there,
then it's
you know. But then when you actually stay longer than that, or a lot longer, all of a sudden it's like less exciting that you're there. You know what I'm saying?
Really? I
I
never
was
stayed
always
long
out
enough.
9 days.
No, it's like all of a sudden it's not special, you know.
No, it's not. It's not.
And
It's
so.
like, this motherfucker.
And I think like a place like LA, like why I got so lucky to end up here a long time ago, and why I stuck around is because
You did it in young.
I was 17 when I got here. But why I like it is there's endless amounts of like canvas, like blank walls. Like we drove around today. How many minutes? Like 20 minutes. We saw all these walls, and the weather's always good, which is
It's
quite
not.
nice.
It's raining. There's a pool
Well,
out there
not
right
today.
now.
That's like the only day out of the year. But it's a good place. I think.
Yeah, I
it's a
mean,
good place.
I would move here for the people.
Right.
Yeah,
People are
like
also good.
walls is kind of like it's not the best walls. Like
No.
it's
What city got better walls than LA?
No, it's not.
No,
Spill
really.
the
No,
tea.
I'm wondering because I don't know what other city that's
mean-
worldly has better walls than LA. Actually,
They're kind of equal, I'd say. But like you guys, the thing that is not good about here is that the real good walls, I feel you have to have a person in between.
and what do you mean by a real good wall?
Like a building, like a 7-story building,
Right.
things like that. Like you always have to like have someone in between.
Usually, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Or the owner needs to contact you directly, or the management company, or something.
Yeah.
But that will happen once people know you're here. Now you're sort of like passing through. Hey, they like your stuff. Maybe they'll follow you, but they think they can't get a hold of you or something.
Yeah.
You
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
You like 7-story buildings?
Yeah.
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 You've painted a lot of 7-story buildings.
One.
But
But
that's
it
a
was
5-year
fun.
plan.
But
That's
it
a
was
5-year plan.
fun. That's why I'm like, like I went to Brazil just to look for a giant building.
Yeah. Did you
Nice.
find it?
Did it for my birthday, man. That's the thing. I'm literally actively chasing my own dreams.
You like 7-story
Chasing
buildings?
my own what?
You like to paint them?
Yeah.
Really?
The bigger the
on
better,
on a
man.
stage lift or
No,
whatever?
there's still a boom lift.
Still boom lift, yeah.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
maximum is
steps.
8 stories on a boom lift,
Yeah,
I guess.
yeah.
I
With
did
7
one,
is like a
yeah,
boom
and
lift.
it's like it was not necessarily like the funnest time of
Fucking
my life.
love it.
It's
How do you-
8 stories, man.
How do you how does that shit come out so even?
Well,
First of all, I'm
those
scared
things
of
are
heights.
projectors. I mean,
What?
Projectors?
not you. You're
Yeah.
a champion. But
You're saying
but
like you project it.
yeah, I project it. Yeah,
Okay.
I don't want to. I'm.
No, I didn't know. I was straight.
I have a
curious.
limited. What is it?
Yeah, if it's time limited,
Patience
and
level.
then yeah, projection would like help a lot of time.
Yeah.
How did the Egyptians do it?
That's the
Uh-huh.
question.
That's another hour coming next week on
Spoiler
Spoiler Alert.
Sick.
Could be interesting. Could be interesting. We're trying it on for size.
Mm,
This,
I
that, and
think
the
it sounds
third.
good.
What's your favorite part of LA? What do you like about the city?
Curly
I
fries.
mean, outside of the half walls that you don't really like.
Well, I mean, I'm here for the people.
Like
I
you like
love
the community, the
people.
culture.
Yeah, I like that.
Like
You
what
know, I
parts-
like right now we're gonna like have a live drawing in the place that I'm staying, and all my amazing female artists are gonna come by.
Where's
Like-
this? I'm gonna bring my sisters. Are they allowed?
It's
y'all
in South
smoking weed?
Central.
It's 62nd and Crenshaw or something, yeah?
Nah, I'm
I actually don't know.
That's
I don't
the
know. I don't
jungles,
know my
baby.
address.
Shit, you were living
I
in
don't
the
know.
jungle.
It's just cool, you know. Like you can just like call some amazing artists and just hang out with them, and you make drawings together. I was never able to do that anywhere.
Yeah.
You're attracted to the community.
So you found like real community here, like out of all the places you visited, and it feels comfy.
Every city has a community,
Right.
but like here, I feel because it's a city where a lot of things happen too. So
Right.
I'm not gonna easily get bored.
Right.
I also feel like LA is a city where a lot of people aren't from here built a community.
Yeah.
So it's like a lot of people
Also-
looking for a
Yeah.
community. That's how I feel about LA.
Also, yeah. Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah, LA is nice. You know, I love LA.
I love you.
Exactly. Cue Randy Newman.
Yeah.
No, it's a great place to be in. So, okay, that's the 5-year plan to paint 7-story buildings on a regular and to move to LA.
Is that the plan? It sounds like it should be way more than that.
It should be
though.
bigger than that. Maybe
Yeah, that doesn't sound that big. That sounds like I
maybe
can totally
paint
do
a
that.
space rocket, connect with Elon Musk, old Elon.
That would be kind of dope.
That would be nice. The first outer space activity.
I need to think about it. It needs to be something that like I will have to work really hard to achieve it.
Yeah, because your goals are quite. What's the word? You said big goals. You know, like the ones you've achieved already. Most people may set them on a Sunday afternoon. By
Mhm.
Tuesday, they're like, "That's never gonna happen." But you followed through with that shit,
Yeah.
and now you're here. And within 5 years, you're already, you painted the world, and now
It's your attitude.
now there's a next chapter, the next horizon.
my attitude.
No,
I got
like-
an attitude.
No.
You don't like my attitude.
The latitude.
No, I mean like a lot of people want the rewards without the work.
Oh man, but I love working. I love working for.
Well, part of it is actually taking the risk. That's part of the work. So,
Well, what is the risk? I have nothing.
Yeah.
I have nothing to lose.
so, yeah.
So then there's no risk at all. It's only about like choosing what I want to like put my energy in. That's the hard part.
That is it, yeah.
Because like like there's so much to do. There's so much that I would want, but I feel like I should only choose one and put all my focus in that.
Yeah. And wait, since
That's why like right now I'm kind of like shattered because I'm not really sure what I want exactly. So I'm kind of like like this. But once I find it, I for sure will go for it. But I need to find it, and I'm not sure what it is.
So having said that, and the kind of like geographical achievements and the painting the world, so that's one thing. But then when we zoom into like the personal work that you are doing, like everything you paint does have like it has a deep personal connection to your life also.
of
Let's talk about
course.
that for a second, because I think that's interesting to know about as well. She's just not painting pretty pictures just to like, hey, aesthetically love me. No,
Yeah.
it goes deeper than that too.
Well, because for me, every mural is a gift that the city gives me to like be able to like do that. But then that's why the only thing I can do is like give it back to them, make it into a gift for them. Because they're the people that will see it every day. They're the people that will live with it. So then when I go to a place, I will try to like get their culture, get what the city is about, and then I'll paint something that I feel would relate to them. Like visually, I will like get the visual things that are like very common there, and then try to like put my message, but wrap it in the visual things that they're used to, so they will understand.
So for the first few days, you go around, take some photos, and like
just
talk to
like,
people and stuff,
I
absorb
like
the
to feel
city
the vibe.
in which
Like
you're
for
in.
me, feeling
That's
is
beautiful,
really
yeah.
important.
Right.
I will never like have a sketch ready when I haven't been there yet.
Because then it feels forceful, maybe.
Yeah, like for me, I like to be very organic with everything.
Mm-mm.
So then, like for example, if I'm in Thailand, I'll paint something in Thai, like Thai culture, for them, and then I don't know. Like it's also like a visual diary for me, like
That's
because
actually-
I don't.
that's really dope.
Yeah, because I don't actually have a sketch. Like when I'll have like a rough idea, but while I paint, the whole meaning of it will change because I will have all these experiences while painting,
Right.
and then the end meaning of the wall will always kind of end up in something different.
It's like a crystallization of
Yeah.
the whole experience until the last,
Yeah.
paint is
And it
touched on
also
the wall.
feels like some sort of like meditation for me because I will like have a struggle at that moment like internally about a specific topic. For example, if my heart is broken or something, I'll think about like, just like how to like deal with it, and then I'll like put that in the wall, and then it will change. Like I'm just trying to give myself hope.
Right.
And
Right.
with putting that hope, like trying to give myself hope on that wall, I'm trying to make a hopeful wall for everybody.
Yeah.
Because I think hope is the most important thing.
Yeah.
Like, because mostly when you walk around and you see like things painted on big walls, is mostly advertising for a product or like some company that's trying to like sell you a lifestyle.
Right.
But for you as a muralist to like get such a huge canvas
Mhm.
that everybody inevitably will see that walks by. So all I can do is just to give a hopeful message.
Right.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's all you like. I feel like that is your duty as a muralist.
Yeah.
It's not just aesthetically pleasing because you can put a fucking tree there then or
Right.
something.
Yeah. No, but
Like
it's
for
felt
me,
in
it's
the
really
work.
important to give out the message
yeah,
that someone can
yeah.
feel that. Because like I think for me, when I was a kid and I was like waiting for someone to come save me, waiting for someone to tell me that things will be okay, that person never came.
Mm.
So for me, like I'm doing this, like thinking about me as a kid, that sad kid, and be like, I want to be that person for myself.
Wow.
So whatever I paint is
that's
like a
big.
message, like straight to like my child version of me. And because I know that at that point I felt so lonely, I thought I was the
Yeah.
only one. And now that I'm older, I know I wasn't the only one. And I want to be there for, that's why I relate way more with people who, who
Went through some shit. Yeah.
yeah, who went through some shit. Like, because I know how that feels like.
Yeah,
and I want to
that's
tell
beautiful.
them, let's get through this together. You're
Yeah.
not alone.
Exactly.
Like, for me,
And
that's
that-
why I travel. Like, it's like to give myself hope in life.
Right.
To be like, I want to give myself a reason for living. I want to see, like, it always like surprises me when I meet amazing people in each country. But it also like gives me so much hope
Right.
to like keep on being in this world and keep on, just moving forward.
Yeah.
It gives me a reason to live.
It's beautiful.
No, that's beautiful.
No. That's,
Isn't that why people do shit though?
Of
Isn't that how
course.
it should be?
Of course. But we have the one distinction that we paint in the street, and of course
It's such.
that intention, like, not again. Of course, I'm here to. Well, how do you say fluff your pillow? How do you say that in English? To big you up, but I am here to big you up because
Yeah.
a lot of things are
good money.
painted.
I paid you good money for this.
But like that as like the inside mission, right?
Yeah.
As you just stated it, I felt that. I felt that through your work before we even met.
Thank you.
And because
appreciate
that
that.
emotion somehow translates into what you paint.
Yeah.
Like the thing we painted on Melrose, that left eye there,
Yeah.
that's a planet worth of emotion,
Oh,
and that's not an opinion, that's just a fact.
it's important.
You guys go look at it.
It's
You'll see,
important.
find it on at Caratoes on Instagram. Take a look for yourself. No, there's deep feeling in there, and I'm kind of a believer that you can't accidentally infuse emotion
Yeah.
onto a wall or into a painting without having it within you first. And now that it's paired with your intention, that's powerful stuff.
Oh, thank you.
And boom, there it is. Boom, there it is.
How can we find your work online?
I'm on Instagram.
But you're not like website. You don't have all that like crazy shit.
No. Yeah, but it's really old. I didn't update it for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm
Instagram's
kinda,
enough. That's the new like.
Yeah, I'm also kind of like struggling. Am I too much on my phone? I don't want to be that person that
But
like.
what is your handle for like someone listening to this? That's like, I want to see your work.
It's
You feel me?
Caratoes. It's like Cara, and then toes, like those things on your foot.
TOES.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm about to add you right
It's
now.
like basically like cara is Spanish for face, and then toes is like that. So I'm everything in between my face and my toes.
I like that.
China, Cholita,
Right,
Choco, Churro.
China chulita chucuchuro caratoes. Rap, rap, rap.
Another mystery unraveled. Here. That's beautiful, man. So I think now we hit a nice note.
I'm looking at your work. It's beautiful. I almost want to get a neck tattoo with this.
Wait, Topo's going to be back in town. Maybe you can arrange that. If you're serious, I have a friend that's in town next week.
I want some work done.
He'll tattoo you her work through his penmanship via tattoo onto your neck. There you go. Cara, thank you so much for coming
You're
through.
awesome. You're a great energy. You're a great spirit. You're a beautiful human being. We love you.
Oh, thank you.
So
Oh
much
my
fun meeting you.
God.
So much fun getting a little deeper on this, the first episode of whatever the fuck this thing is going to be called.
Thank you so
But,
much for having
you're the
me.
best.
You're awesome.
Yeah,
Thank,
You're
no,
the
thank
best.
you for
I'm
sharing.
so grateful.
Thank you for sharing.
Oh, I don't know. I'm just,
For real.
Yeah,
And that's
I'm
it.
inspired.
That's it, ladies and gents. On to the next one.
Chuck it.
So yeah, that was the first show. Whew. Sweating through it, but we made it happen. Of course, we're going to get used to this format. I'm going to get used to being the host, to interviewing, to learning when to shut the fuck up. And I'll get better at that. And just to relax and be myself. So that was Caratoes. And that was our premiere episode. Many more to come. Find us on Instagram at Happy No Fear. All one word, no fancy shit. See you next week. Bye-bye.